Let me share my screen. Yeah, for today we prepared 5 issues related to Dev.Experience. Yeah, first one is about additional plugin for product toolbar block.
Volodymyr, can I ask you to share link for each ticket in chat? It will be also useful if
Yeah,
we come.
we can preview them.
It's hard to share screen. Ah, yeah, I can do it. Yeah.
You can copy link from your document and post to our chat here.
Great, thank you.
There is all link to all tickets that we will look today.
Okay.
Yeah, looks like contributor tried to add additional query.
I see that he tried to reuse some select query, but honestly, it's not clear all of steps because I see that with join table it's good, but fix and display the true number in amount PHTML. Honestly, I can recommend to ask more details, especially about precondition, because now it's not clear how many product do you have, what is conditions, because current actual result it's get only one item of product, but it's not clear why only one, how many do you have, is it separate model or so I think we can remove label.
And guys, like one thing that I have in mind. So we have like a toolbar collection. We need to actually double check what is there, but we are adding joins like for the sales order, and this is like a red flag for me because we do support like a split DB and like a hosting of the sales tables on the like a separate database server. And if this collection, toolbar collection, pulls the data, like I say, from one server and sales will be hosted on the another server, technically this will be fatal error. So like this join is not so easy here, and we need to double check split DB deployment.
Yeah, for me it looks like some kind of misconfiguration. So let's ask guy more details and what label needs update.
Yeah, I agree. I already removed the confirmed label and
Volodymyr, could you please add comment about the split DB just in the pull request so that we won't forget this before accepting?
Okay, let's go to next one.
Guys, maybe you have any other comments, ideas about that?
Okay, I believe we can go to next one.
I would say that maybe we also, we need to check how it's going to work with the staging functionality, because I can see that we have some linked in with entity ID for product. So I would recommend to also check, I guess we need to double check this this bug for our enterprise edition.
So anyway, I believe it should be covered, but by the test, it's at the end. I mean, so and our test should catch such stuff. But yeah, good point. It makes sense to double check on this as well.
I believe that the contributor try to do his own implementation, his own plugin, and for his own project, and maybe he don't use staging and he don't need to know anything about the staging, etc.
I
Currently,
mean,
he just
well,
mentions that he don't propose some solution. It's not solution, and we will not deliver this code to Magento 2 code base. He just mentions that that he have some problem when he write his own plugin to the toolbar collections.
okay.
So yeah, we will not deliver this code to Magento 2. So
Okay.
we don't need to check it with staging, etc. We just need to clarify why it's not work correctly when we write some custom plugin. Okay, let's go to the next one, and yeah, it's a pretty small issue, as I see, with message, error message, as I understand, validation message looks like. Yeah, and Thomas proposed to replace message associated to website is required value to website ID is required value because it's looks like more clean and I don't know. Valery, what do you think about it?
Uh, I don't think that we need to move to some feature requests. Yes, according to this ticket, we need to change this message, and okay, we can say that it's bug, but for me, priority is P4 or S4 because in generally you can understand what is happened from previous message. Yes, it's good if we will have some more the same message as it done for another field.
I'm not sure that it is a real bug at all, because yeah, for us maybe website ID is more readable, but for some other people maybe associated to website is pretty clear. I don't know. We use word website ID in our terminology in our daily work, so it's preferable for us, but for some people outside of our company and maybe associated website is also pretty clear.
I mean, like, from my standpoint, like a website ID, again, we're talking about the API right now. It's not a UI, correct? It's not like an
Mm-hmm.
admin.
Yeah.
So, from the API standpoint, it makes sense to point out specific field which is missing, which, like, for me, has much more sense. For UI validation and just the messaging, definitely associated website has more sense. But we need to double check if this field used only here and this type of messages, I mean, only on the API, or we are using the same logic and same messaging for somewhere else in admin UI. So like there is like a two different clients of this message, programmatic and human, or store admin. So if it's only about the API, makes sense to change. If it's about the user experience,
You see that it's registration, so it's only API because if you try to register via UI, website will be assigned automatically based on website where registration happened.
Valerie, I wouldn't be surprised if we have the same model or validator class which generates actually this message.
Yeah, but as I understand, from the UI, we don't need to pass any website ID, and we will never see this error.
Yes, that's right. So again, it's about issue. If this issue about the API integration, this absolutely makes sense for me. But during the implementation, we will need to double check that we are not affecting any like a user faced messaging.
We can put comment for this for QA stage, like please verify that we will not affect registration UI.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense.
Now you can copy this and put in GitHub.
Okay, guys, do you have any ideas of it, or we can proceed to the next one?
My only one concern is that any kind of messaging, exception messaging, this kind of messaging is the part of our API, and it will be a breaking change to change that.
Yeah, but I believe that we can approve it. We can try to approve it and deliver it to the.
Elena, you're saying that the message itself, text
Yes.
of the message?
Yes, yes.
Right.
Yeah, right now.
Someone can rely on it.
Yeah, right now we have like policies that all translatable strings should be changing of any translatable strings should be considered as minor changes, because it can break customization and, for example, some themes or some logic which was built based on this string.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense.
So we can move to next.
Sure.
I know this issue. It's very looks very promising. I recommend to pay more attention on it. So in generally, it was changing the logic of collection loading, and honestly, it's very interesting result, like decreasing time from 1 hour to a couple of minutes. So it looks like maybe something was broken because it's so significant improvement. That's why we already asked to review this issue. I'm sorry, to make some additional checking of this issue, because for me it's very great, absolutely great result if it's really true.
Yes, looks like this small changes is not possible to improve performance. So
I see.
Numbers. Yeah, but we already asked it to check this issue our TG guys. So we are waiting for results from they.
So after checking after internal QA, it will be final decision. But consider if it's true. For me, priority is at least P2, maybe even P1, or we set P2 as 1 for this because it's related to performance, and if it's true, it's must have the delivery.
P2 as 1 because it's improvement, it's performance improvement, it's important, but it's not an issue. It doesn't block anyone. So let's do P2 like priority and S1 because it's really important. Performance is really important for us.
Agree. Honestly, I put this ticket also in my some README in some TXT file because I would like to check this himself. It's very interesting result. So yes, we changed just only logic how to load this object. Maybe it's related to loading of some plugins. Maybe it's related to loading of some, I don't know, performing additional logic. But in general, there was changed just for each replace it on while cycle, and according to loading, we started use fetch item instead loading. So it's very interesting. So it's not possible that replacing for each to while will lead to such kind of results. So maybe there are some broken logic. Maybe it's related to something else. But I would like to make double check from QA side, also from some technical, from engineering side.
Yeah, but
So,
that coach item is almost raw query, but yeah, improvement is too large.
but yes, I think need to check. So maybe some suggestion from another guys.
Okay, if not, let's proceed to the next one. Error in static test framework dependency whole tests. So contributor tried to run PHP rule test and expect the result that all tests should be passed, but contributors received some errors. Yeah, it's errors related to the paths.
Sorry, I cannot understand. Is it related to issue in static tests or it's related to some issue in our AC model?
It's related to static tests.
So let's clarify steps. So I install Magento via Composer. After that, I try to run static test. So expected result that all tests should be passed. Yes, it's correct. And actual results that we have some issues with CMS index. Easy. So yes, we have some tests we check URL dependency. And what is error? That we have no such
Yeah,
exception.
I believe that if you will run this test from the root folder instead of the dev test static framework test unit, everything will be fine. I think the main reason that we run it from the unit folder with provided path to PHP file like rollback.
I think I see Elena on the. No, Elena is not called. Honestly, I don't know. Can we run our static test if installation was over Composer and code is located in vendor folder? Because I run it mostly when you clone code from GitHub. But of course, I think yes. In generally, we are going to improve our tooling, so it will be great also if the test will work with vendors. So, okay, it looks like bug, but for me it's P3, maybe S3, maybe even P4. I don't know, P3, P4.
I think we can set P3 for this issue, but I for sure that we have ability to run these tests. We should play a little bit with the paths from the which folder we should run this command, but I believe that we have some workarounds. I don't know. Okay, let's do P3 for this issue. P3 S3. Guys, do you have any suggestion? Okay, if not, let's go to the last one. Performance issue product page is all product type. Okay. Go to any product and review all SQL for this. Okay. Only one time. Okay. The question is.
I think it's related that we have some MySQL query in the cycle. If you're familiar, it's called n plus one problem. it's related that we collect all of identifiers, and if I understand correct, guide proposed to collect all of IDs in one query. We have pretty familiar issue in GraphQL, but in GraphQL it was more easy to fix it because we can collect in some parent resolvers and don't need to make this in cycle. So according to this issue, I can say yes, it's problem. Does not matter, enabled cache or no, because it will be reproducible only if our cache will be enabled. But I am not sure that easy to implement in current codes.
I think it should be implement bulk API.
Something like that. You should collect all of it and make one query, but you should not do it in the block. Could you open this layout plugin and product list? Both of the three.
Product list.
That's what I call it. That we. Okay. And second. You know, in current structure, it's. I don't see how to fix it without some using registry or some global state, because it's child block, and it will be strange if parent block will be asked this data in child block. Okay, now we talk not about implementation, but mostly about priority. For me, this issue requires some HLD, maybe some design, maybe some additional recommendation, but priority. For me, it's P3 as 3, not P2, because it will be not lead to some significant improvements. Also, it will be reproducible only if cache disabled. It's my proposal, but
I prefer to set S2 because it's also related to performance and.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
Let's increase the severity of this issue. At least to investigate how I can figure out with it. I really I don't understand what you mean when you say that we can't implement some bulk operation. I mean, I don't understand why we cannot do it. But yeah, as you said, currently we talk not about implementation, just about the issue, and yeah, like the priority and severity is correct. Okay, that's it from my side for today.
It's good because we started this meeting a little bit late due to maintainers calls. So now we're out of time.
Yeah, thank you guys for participating. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.